So good morning, everybody. We are going to open our phones to our Pinterest app and talk about quotes for a minute. We can have a quote that is kind of what you would consider a one-liner, or a quote that is transformative. For our final project, which is going to be a work of art that is uplifting to the viewer, it's also going to be a work of art that shows successful use of composition, positive-negative space, depth, and value range. It's going to fill the entire picture plane. You are going to predetermine the picture plane. And it's going to have 7 different marks. So that means 7 lines or patterns or shapes. Okay? So those are the requirements for the final assignment for our unit on line and abstract black and white line. So since those are the requirements, we're going to create a really dynamic work of art, right? And so in order to do that, we need to pick a quote from our quotes that's transformative. So what does transformative mean? Does anyone know the definition of transformative? We aren't sure. So transformative is the ability to take someone from one feeling to another. Or, my favorite is let's ask Siri. We do this at home all the time. Siri, what's the definition of informative? Siri, what's the definition of transformative?
Providing useful or
Siri, what's the definition of transformative?
Transformative means causing a marked change in someone or something.
Causing a marked change in someone or something. So we want to pick a quote that creates change, right? We want, and it's really symbolic because we want the people in this school's hearts to change. No matter where their heart is or where their thoughts are, we want to put people in a better kind of state of mind than maybe what they would be in when they enter the bathroom. It's a little joke. So, transformative quote. So, I'm going to look at the quotes. I'm going to use a non-transformative quote as an example. You are good. It would be difficult to come up with a complex composition and something that's transformative with just "you are good" for a quote. I've picked a transformative quote here. And it says, "Fear has 2 meanings. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours." See if you can find a transformative quote. In my example quote, then I broke it down. I broke it down to different words that represent feelings. Okay? Fear, forget, run, face everything, rise, and choice. These are different words that will give me a different feeling when I So I'll be able to create an expressive line or a mark for each one. So what I'd like you to do is take a minute, find a quote, and see if you can break it down. I'm going to give you a second example. If you're working and you understand, keep going. If not, look up here. This is one of my favorite quotes. For my example, I'm going to create an abstract work of art about this quote. And then I'm going to put it on my door forever. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. So, to me, this is how I feel about our art program, specifically AP Art, which is extremely demanding of your time, you know. So it's definitely not easy, because sometimes you've got to force yourself to do art when you're not feeling inspired. So what I did, I broke it down. Not easy. Telling you, I try to create sound waves. It's okay that I really don't know what a sound wave looks like. This is abstract art. So what I'm doing is I'm avoiding any real recognizable symbols, right? But I am thinking about specific things. Worth it? I came up with 3. This was just a vision I had of a student's work on the wall at the Markham for the senior art show, because that's a huge accomplishment for our AP art students. This is a crown, kind of feeling like accomplishment, but it's not really a crown, right? And here's like a fence representing like climbing over a fence. Most people would look at these, maybe this one is too realistic, but most people would look at these and not really know what I'm representing, because they were abstract shapes out of my head. Not easy. It's basically like a mark of frustration, okay? And this is here to represent sound. Okay, so see if you can take your quote and flip to a clean page in your sketchbook and see if you can break it down into specific words, each that evoke a different feeling. Just for the case of the video, I'm going to move forward, so there isn't a lot of lag time. But in a minute, I'm going to turn this off, and we're going to work together on these things as a class, okay? So, folks at home, what I'd like you to do is break down your transformative quote. First, identify out of your quotes a quote that's transformative. You might want to practice with 2, as did I. This one and this one, totally different quotes. Then, create a mark that is inspired by each word or group of words. Okay? So you're creating something like this. In the end, your final work of art has to have 7 marks. For this, if you have 5, you're fine, because what happens is, since we need to incorporate successful balance, you might be making up some marks as you go, okay? So that's what we're going to work on today. Make sure, a way to assess yourself on whether or not this is successful is if all your marks are extremely different from each other. Remember, your quote is transformative, so your marks should also be transformative. Folks at home, please do this for tomorrow, and you'll be all caught up and ready to join us on Wednesday.